Hi, second grade. Oh my goodness, measurement. Isn't it fun? Yesterday we were putting objects in order from shortest to longest and longest to shortest. And then we were comparing measurements indirectly, right? We were using this pencil to compare an item that was longer than the pencil and shorter than the pencil. And we were using strips of paper to putting them in order and comparing lengths there. And you got to practice more and more of that yesterday after our time together. Well, today we're going to continue with this measurement theme, but we're going to do something a little different today. Are you excited? I am too. Let's take a peek at our learning target. I can measure the length of an object. You know, friends, this word measure, we're going to see this come up over and over and over again. When we are measuring something, we're finding how big it is. In this case, we're going to find out the length or how long an object is. And we're going to do it in kind of a fun way. Have you all ever been fishing? Well, if you've ever been fishing, you know that in order to keep a fish, it has to be long enough. That's how a fish becomes a keeper. Well, we're going to learn and we're going to have a chance to measure some fish today and decide if they're keepers or not. Now, our work today is all around a girl named Kim. Now, I love Kim, and she has quite the adventure when it comes to fishing. And she's going fishing with her dad, and they catch a fish. And this fish is called a perch. Everybody say perch. Good job. This perch is a kind of fish, and in order for it to be a keeper, it has to be 6 inches long. Now, all Kim has to measure her fish are these little tiles, but they're 1-inch tiles. That means they're 1 inch long. So, if she uses these to measure her fish, then she should be able to find out if it's long enough or not, or if it's a keeper. And we're going to help her. But they catch a fish, and she starts measuring right away. And we have some problem solving to do before we can measure our own. Are you ready? So Kim gets this fish. Woohoo, exciting. And she measures it. And when she measures it, she gets it and measures it to be 6 tiles long. Now we know that each of our tiles is 6 inches, so it must be a keeper, right? But she wants to be sure. So she measures it a second time. Now this time when she measures it, she finds that it's 8 tiles long. Now friends, I know, and you know, and frankly, Kim knows that this is not right. Something is amiss. Let's take a peek at the ways that she measured these 2 fish. I want you to turn and talk to a partner out here on the carpet. Maybe you're going to talk to a friend or a family member at home. What do you notice is different about the ways that she measured her fish? Take a few moments and talk about that. Look at how she measured her fish. What is similar? What is different? What do you notice about these? These are in a straight line. These are not in a straight line. What else do you notice about these 2 ways that she measured? This one starts at the nose or the head and ends at the tail. This one ends at the tail. But it doesn't start until after its eyeball. Anything else you notice? Yeah, this one is 6 and this one is 8. This one kind of overlaps even a little bit, doesn't it? They're not quite end to end. Well, as we already have discussed, that there's two different measurements. Something's not right. So Kim does exactly what I would do and probably what you would do too. So she measures it again. And when she measures it this time, She measures it and finds that it's 5 tiles long. Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Yes, this cannot be. How can it be 6, 8, and 5? What do you notice about this way that she measured it? Yes, it starts at the head and ends at the tail too. Oh, but it's corner to corner rather than side to side. Well, what should she do? And she does. She does measure it again. You guys are so smart. Well, this time when she measures it, look what happens. Oh my goodness. My tape is just not cooperating today. This time it's 4. Now, friends, this is frustrating, isn't it? Measured it 4 times, got 4 different answers. What is unique about this one? Starts at the head, ends at the tail, but she has spaces in between. Some of you are shaking your heads at me. What is wrong with how Kim is measuring her fish? Can you do better? I know you can. Now, you guys, you all disagree with how she measured these in every single way that she measured them. So I want you to get Kim's fish out. And whether you have tiles with you or whether you have grid paper that you've gotten cut up to help you measure this, I want you to show me how you would measure Kim's fish. Now, you're going to measure it, and then we're going to use your measurements to help us write up some rules for measuring so that Kim knows this and we know this from now on. Go ahead and take a few moments and show me how you would measure her fish to find out if it's a keeper or not. Go ahead and go. What do you want to do first? So you want to start at the head? Okay. How are you lining yours up? Are they in a curve? Oh, okay. Did you put yours right next to each other like that? You don't want them to have gaps? Ooh, that's a smart thing. End to end. Where are you ending your measurement? Or ending your tiles? At the tail. Where did you start your tiles? Are you going around its fins? Friends, let's come together. Did we learn some things from Kim? What's something that you did, friend? Where did you start your tile? Your first tile is started at the head of the fish. Raise your hand if you also did that same thing. All right, and then what did you do? How did you line yours up? Side to side, okay? Like that? All right, then what? You kept going. Am I curving? No, I'm going straight, okay? All right, straight as I can go at least, right? All right, how much longer do I need to go? Okay, am I done? What do I need to do? Why do I need to do one more? Oh, because it needs to go to the end of the tail. Does yours look like mine does? Let's count these tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was supposed to be 6 tiles long or 6 inches. How long is this one? 7 tiles long or 7 inches. You know, there were little things we picked up from each of her measurements, wasn't there? What do we like about this one? Yep, it was side to side, just like we wanted it to. What about this one? Yeah, it started at the head and ended at the tail. This one was in a straight line, starting at the head and ending at the tail. And this one was side to side, right? Zoop, zoop, and starting at the head and ending at the tail. But it had those spaces. So when we line these up, what does that tell us about things we have to remember as we're measuring? What does that help us know as we're measuring, friends? I'm going to move this up because I want us to make sure that we have our rules for measurement. If our learning target is, I can measure the length of an object, I want to make sure that I'm measuring my object correctly. We don't want to run into the same problem that Kim is running into, do we? No, siree, Bob. So what is the first rule that we can learn from Kim? We need to start at the beginning. Wherever the object starts, our measurement starts. And we have to end at the end of the object. So we just start at the head and end at the tail. Or whatever object we're doing, we're going to start it at one end and end at the other end. That's one of our first rules of measurement that we really need to follow. What else we need to remember as we're measuring objects? Yeah, we loved how they lined these up, but we can't leave any gaps. Leave no gaps. We don't want a measurement with spaces in between. No way, Jose. What else do we want to remember when we're measuring? Learning from good old Kim. Yes, you know what? We didn't run into this problem with this one, but the whole time we measured it, we used these tiles. Now they might be different colors, but they are the same size and they are the same shape. So we want to use the same unit. And the unit is just what are we using to measure it. We do not want to use some big tiles and little tiles or tiles and then cubes, do we? No. We want to make sure that we're using that same unit the whole time. What's the next rule we want to follow? Yeah, this one did a little bit of this, didn't it? No overlapping. So we don't want spaces, but we also don't want to overlap. We want to put them side by side. We don't want to overlap any of our units, do we? They should not go over each other. What's the last rule we need to follow? Yep. We don't want to go around, right? We have to measure in a straight line. If we start to curve, we're not going to get an accurate measurement, are we? So friends, today, whether you are measuring your fish, here's some more fish for you to measure, or whether you're measuring things around your house with your tiles or your little squares that you've cut out. Remember these rules. These rules are so important. Start at the beginning and end at the end. Leave no gaps. We don't want spaces. We're going to use that same unit. So whatever tool we're using to measure, we're going to use that same tool no matter what. Do not overlap. We want them next to each other, not overlapping each other. And last but not least, We want to measure in a straight line, not a curve, not corner to corner, end to end, and in a straight line. Today you have an important job to keep measuring and putting these tools into practice. And tomorrow we're going to measure using more than one tool. I cannot wait. Happy measuring, second grade.